Yeah, what's up?
What's up?
Hey, so I got like two questions for you.
What's up?
So, number one,
Hmm.
I'm assuming just from what I hear, I'm new to like your channel and everything. I'm just not seeing. Are
Right?
you like Hebrew Israelite? Y'all believe like you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm a Hebrew. Well, I'm an Israelite, right?
Okay. And I'm just so my question is, so I'm a Christian. Of my understanding from reading the Bible and what I've read
Hmm.
and understanding like what it means, like looking at everything, breaking it down in, Greek and Hebrew and all that type of stuff.
Hmm.
My understanding is like I have no problem saying that we're tied to the promise, right? The Bible talks about that for sure. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
But to say like, are you saying it's only for black people? Like that's not something that anybody can have access to?
Wait, say that. Yeah, it's not. So like,
Like,
it's for in North Central and South America, the Israelites are blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. If we were to go to Europe and Africa or Asia, we would determine it by just looking at their history or lineage to see if they're Israelites. But if you're not an ethnic Israelite, you can't join us. Like a Chinese man, a Hamite, a white man, they cannot join our organization. They can't because they're not an Israelite.
okay, and so my question, and so like when you like, do y'all like believe like read the Bible? Like that's what y'all
Yeah,
y'all follow, or
we go by the Bible in its totality, from Genesis to Revelations.
okay? And so my question is in Romans 1:16. I don't know if you're familiar with that
I
scripture.
am. I am.
Um, okay, when it's saying, "I'm not ashamed of the gospel, for it is the power of God unto salvation to everyone that believes, to the Jew first and also to the Greek." Who
Mm-hmm.
who is that? Who is the
The
Greek
Jew.
that applies to?
Okay, so the Jew first. Who do you think the Jew is?
I know who that is, but that's not my
No, I'm
question
asking.
though.
I
My question
understand
is
that.
who is the Greek?
I understand that, but I just want you to answer that for me. I'm not
The
gonna
Jew is
not. I'm not
whoever
gonna. I'm not
the
gonna not
Israel.
answer. Okay, the Jew is not
The Jew is
Israel.
Israelite. Yeah.
Okay, the Jew is not Israel in that verse. The Jew is those that are in Jerusalem. The Jew is those that are them, because Israel was scattered. The Greek. All right, hold on one second. Caller, hold on. The Greek in that verse are the Israelites that were Hellenized. So Greek could be actual Israelite, or a Greek could be the actual white man, or a Greek could be an Egyptian. The Greek could be, because the Romans and excuse me, the Greeks and Romans had conquered a lot of the lands and they Hellenized a lot of them. So
Yeah.
the Greeks are the Israelites that made the Greek their tongue and followed their customs. That's who that's talking about.
Okay. Because my thing is when I look and I break it down
Hold
into
on one
what
more
it's
second. And
determining the Greek.
when I'm telling you to
Okay.
hold on, it's because I get other calls. So I'm just getting that
No, you're
call.
good.
All right, no sweat. All right, hold on. All right, go ahead.
All right. I was saying, so when it breaks down into that
Mm-hmm.
scripture in the Greek, right, it's
Mm-hmm.
talking about Gentiles, right? And that's anybody who is a non-Jew. That's what when it's
That's not
referring to
true.
Gentile, any person who's non-Jew. That's what it means.
That's not what Gentile means. Gentile is not a race of people. Gentile just means nation by definition of the word. So Israel is a Gentile because Israel is a nation. So depending on the context, it could be talking about an Israelite or it could be talking about a non-Israelite. So he's in the city of Rome, we would agree, right?
Yeah.
So when he's saying Gentile in there, because he's in Rome, he's talking about the Israelites in Rome. When it says to the Jew first, Christ came to Jerusalem first. Afterwards, is sent to the lost sheep of the house of Israel. You're familiar with Christ saying the lost sheep of the house of Israel, right?
Yeah.
And where would they be at? Would they be inside Jerusalem or outside Jerusalem?
They be inside.
No, the lost sheep would not be
Right, my
inside.
fault. Yeah.
Yeah, they would.
My fault. Yeah, you're right. My fault. I'm sorry.
Right. They would be outside. So if they're outside Jerusalem, that's why it says to the Jew first, because that's where Christ came first, to the Gentiles or to the Greeks second. is because the lost sheep is outside of that. So in order to go to them lost sheep, you would have to go to Rome. You would have to go to Galatia, Cappadocia. You would have to go to the four corners. Are you familiar with James 1 and 1?
Quote it for me real quick.
When it says when James says to the 12 tribes which are scattered abroad.
Yeah.
That's what
I'm aware.
right. So that's James's letter. So James' letter is directly to the 12 tribes which are scattered abroad. And that's the letter of all the disciples, of all the apostles. It's only written to those people because that's what Christ commanded them to do. Christ commanded them to go get the lost sheep. And so that's what they went about doing. So the only way someone can say, I'll give it to you right after this. So the only way someone can say that it's for anybody else, you would have to first show me where all 12 tribes are gathered first. Because if they're not gathered, and that's the mission Christ gave them, you can't tell me that it's for everybody.
So my thing is when the apostles met together, right? There was this contention, right? Because many of them were like, no, this is for the Jews only, right? And Paul's coming in, and you have the whole situation where before Peter went and saved Cornelius. Are you familiar with that?
Yeah, Cornelius is an Israelite, though.
Okay. That was a white man. There's at no point in time where the Romans put a black man in that level of power at that time.
That's a lie. That is an absolute lie.
I'm saying
you might want to do the history.
Cornelius is a white man.
Where it doesn't identify his ethnicity directly on either side. It doesn't directly say he's an Israelite. It doesn't directly say he's a non-Israelite. It just says he was a centurion of the Italian band. That means he was in the Roman military as a centurion. That's what it says. You might want to do some history on the Israelites, or if the better word to look it up, on the Jews being in the Roman army, in the Roman military, because Jews was all throughout the Roman military. But that's not enough on either one of ours. But let me finish.
But the reason, okay.
Thank you. That's not enough for either one of us to identify whether Cornelius is an Israelite or not. You know Cornelius is an Israelite or not because when God says to Peter, "What I have cleansed, call not thou common." There's no verse in the Bible that ever said he was going to cleanse non-Israelites. But there is verses in the Bible that he said he was going to cleanse Israelites. And then when Peter says, "Of a truth I perceive that God is no respecter of persons, but every man that worketh righteousness," I'm paraphrasing, "is accepted of him." And then he says, "The word which was sent to the children of Israel, preaching peace by Jesus Christ, Yahweh Shah Mashiach." So was that word sent to everybody, or was it sent to Israel?
It was sent to everybody because
Can you show me where it says that word?
Right.
Did Peter say?
So Jesus himself.
You're not answering.
I'm answering. I am. I'm about to. Let me.
That verse. Let me rephrase the question. Does that verse say the word was sent to everybody, or the word was sent to Israel?
It doesn't say the word was sent to Israel. I'm telling you what Jesus.
Yeah, that's
said.
a lie.
His word
Wait.
all, right?
The Bible say no. Before you tell me what Jesus. Before we'll just clear this verse up, and then you can tell me what you think Jesus said. You said that verse doesn't.
Not what I think. What the Bible said.
You said that verse doesn't say that. That's what you said out of your mouth. So I'm going to read the verse, and then we'll see if you'll still say that. This is Acts 10:36. The word which God sent unto the children of Israel, preaching peace by Jesus Christ, Yahweh Shah Mashiach. So was that word sent to everybody, or was that word sent to the children of Israel?
So you chose. It says that. That's what that says.
But you just said it didn't say that.
You chose no. But look, no. Let's go to verse 34 above it. It says that
I started at that. I started at 34.
No, let me talk. You started at 36. It says, "Then Peter opened his mouth and said, In truth, I perceive that God shows no partiality, But
Can
in
you
every
read the
nation,
King James
whoever
Version,
fears him and
please?
works righteousness
Can you
is
read the
accepted by him.
Can you read the
That
King
is the
James?
King James Version.
The King James
What
Version
you
doesn't
talking
say that.
about?
It doesn't say that. And in the King
Okay,
James
okay,
Version, it says in
okay.
Acts 10,
I'll read the King. Can I read it? I'll read it
yeah,
in
but
King James
just
Version.
don't be a liar.
It
You
says in
said that.
Peter's.
Listen, one
I'm not
second.
a liar.
Wait, stop. Before you continue, just stop for a second. You said that it didn't say the children of Israel. It did. Then you just said you read the King James Version. You did not. That's two lies you just gave. Don't do that. You can disagree with me, but let's not lie on the text. That was not the King James Version that you read. Now you're going to read the King James Version. Please read it.
But I got you. Then Peter opened his mouth and said, of a truth, I perceive that God is no respecter of persons. In every nation, he that feareth him, and worketh righteousness is accepted with him.
Okay.
So
What is that? What is?
if he's not if he's not a respecter of persons,
right?
And it says, but every nation, like it doesn't say some,
right?
It doesn't say these particular ones, every. Okay, that's disclosing, withholding nothing. Do we agree on that's what every means? Withholding nothing.
Yes, we agree with that part.
Okay.
We disagree.
So if it says, but in every nation, but in every nation, he that fears him and works righteousness is accepted with him.
Can you read the next verse? Can you read the next verse?
You did, and that's what I'm talking about.
I want you to read the next.
Word which God sent. The word which God sent unto the children of Israel. So the word which was sent to them, and that's what is being referred to later in Romans, to the Jew first, that word, and then also to the group, and it's saying to the Jews first. That's what that word is talking about. Right there.
No problem. So when it's talking about, wait 1 second. When it talks about respective persons, it's because Peter said it is an unlawful thing for me, being a Jew, to come unto one company of another nation. That is not a law in the Bible. There is no law in the Bible that says me as an Israelite can't go around another nation. That is something the Pharisees created to separate themselves from other Israelites that they considered uncircumcised and cut off. That's their law. So when Peter says God is not a respecter of persons, it's talking about in judgment of matters. Because in Peter's judgment of matters, he wouldn't have normally come around Cornelius because he was respecting what the Pharisees said. But now that God showed him not, and quick question, when did God show him to go around Cornelius?
He didn't show him.
Yes, he did. When he showed him,
he showed him
the vision of all the unclean animals, right? What did the unclean animals represent?
The unclean nations, the ones who weren't chosen and sanctified and, like, you know what I'm saying?
Okay, so now,
like, that's what Israel is
God, but
Israel
became unclean. So when God says, what God hath cleansed, call not thou common, you're saying that God cleansed other nations? Can you show me a Bible verse? Can you show me a Bible verse that God said he was going to cleanse other nations? Because I'll show you a Bible verse where he said he was going to cleanse Israel in those nations.
Before 1 second.
And then after this, because I have 3 other calls after this one, you can call back at another time. But after this exchange, I'm going to take the other call I have. But can you show that verse where God cleansed other nations, or said he would cleanse other nations? Because I can show you a verse where God said he would cleanse Israel in the other nations that they were in.
So I'm not, just because of time, I don't want to. I'll have to call you back.
No problem.
Back you with that.
Caller, hold on. No problem. So I'll answer it for you real quick and show you.
I'm gonna go to Matthew.
Well, no. You can't show a cleansing. I can show a cleansing. And listen at this verse. This
But I'm
is.
saying I'm gonna call you back on. I'm gonna call you back on that though. I
I
said I'll call
know,
you back on that.
but you still
So I
can't
don't.
show.
So
You
can I
still
say my?
can't.
Can I make my point?
You still can't show it. You can make it after I told you this would be the last exchange. So you can't make your point. So I'm going to make my point. I'm going to show you. This is Ezekiel 37 chapter. It says, in verse 16, it says, moreover, thou son of man, take thee one stick and write upon it for Judah and the children of Israel his companions. Then take another stick and write upon it for Joseph, the stick of Ephraim, and for all the house of Israel his companions. And join them one to another in one stick, and they shall be one in thine hand. Whoever that is that's not muted, I'm going to hang up on you. Whoever that is not muted, mute your mic. Thank you. So now that's him. That's Christ being a shepherd, joining the two sticks together. This is Ezekiel 37 and 22. It says, and I will make them one nation in the land upon the mountains of Israel, and one king shall be king to them, and they shall be no more two nations. Neither shall they be divided into two kingdoms anymore. Neither shall they defile themselves with any more with their idols, nor with their detestable things, nor with their transgressions. But I will save them out of their dwelling places wherein they have sinned, and cleanse them. So did God say he was going to save Israel out of their dwelling places and cleanse them?
Yeah, that's talking about Israel and Judah, right?
So it was Cornelius outside. Was Cornelius outside of his dwelling place and cleansed by the Most High and sent to Peter, sent by Peter?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, he wasn't in Jerusalem.
That's right. So he was cleansed out. So he was cleansed, right?
Yeah.
Outside of Israel, because he's an Israelite that God cleansed. That he prophesied that he would cleanse Israel in their dwelling places, meaning where Cornelius lived at is where he got cleansed by Christ. And Peter was sent to him, and Peter was given a vision by God to let him know he was cleansed. So you can't show a verse. So no, we got to stop that. I did tell you. No, I told you.
You're doing this though.
When you saying I'm doing this, wait, slow down. I don't like people lying. When you say I'm doing something, you just said I'm doing this. Stop talking, brother. Brother, stop. I don't have to talk to you. I can hang up on you. I'm trying to tell you something. Just listen. Before we began, and you said you couldn't find a verse, I said this would be the last exchange because I have other callers. It's not my fault.
You told me
it's not my fault that you. No, I did not. No, I did not. You're not gonna call me a liar, nigga. You're not gonna call me a liar. I don't like being called a liar. Before we got into it, I said I can use whatever word I want. I can use it. Why you lie? Why did you lie twice? It wasn't made by, now I will give you one more. You said that word was made by a white man. Let me help you out. The book of Acts chapter 13 verse 1 reads as this. Now there was at Antioch there was at the church in Antioch certain prophets and teachers as Barnabas and Simeon that was called nigger. The word nigger is in the Bible.
It says in King James.
It says that in the King James, when you get you a blue letter, the Acts 13 and 1, get you a blue letter Bible. And what I want you to do when you get to the blue letter Bible or go to blueletter.com, all you got to do is just listen. No, it's not referring to a nation, nigga. They were called nigga. Listen, yes. And when you look up the pronunciation
but we spell with two G's. That's not the same.
You are a stupid nigga. You are a stupid nigga. When you go look up that word,
I do not.
All you got to do is look up that word. Listening is an art, young man. Get out your feelings. Then be quiet and listen. If you're hearing me, you're not talking. You can't talk and hear at the same time. So now you've got on this stage, you've got on this call, and you've lied twice. You said one scripture didn't say what it said, and you said you was reading the King James Version. The only person on this line that's a liar is you. When it comes to the word nigger, go to blueletter.com and go to Acts 13:1. And when you hear the pronunciation of this word, it's going to be pronounced nigger. That's how it's pronounced. Now, because these southern whites came and added an extra G to it, doesn't take away that nigger comes from the Latin word nigger, which means black. Now, you can call back tomorrow. We can finish the call, which is what I said earlier. Have a good day.
Okay. I appreciate you, man.